Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. My name is TG Renku, and this is Table Talk with Tactical Gaming. I'm joined by my co-host, Cosmic Pepe, and our special guest of Typical Veteran, who are you?
First Corps Commander.
There you go. Boom. Not scripted. No, it's not. So, right, same time as last. Just going to sit down and chill, chat about some stuff. The last cast was like more devoted toward topics and whatnot. But this time, because we've got a high-ranking COC official, I'm blowing your horn right now here. It's pretty much going to be like devoted to them and asking them questions and seeing what goes on behind the scenes of like a high-ranking person behind TG. So, sit back, chillax, crack a cold one, and let's get into it. So, yeah, Veteran, do you want to just like give us a background of like who you are, how long you've been in TG, and all that sort of jazz?
Sure. Don't pump me up too much, man. I won't be able to fit out the door. But yeah, I mean, I've been in TG for a couple of years now. I don't know exactly when I joined. It was somewhere around Battlefield 1. Originally joined TG in like Destiny 1, and then when Destiny 1 wasn't supported anymore, I didn't really have any games that you guys offered, so I just kind of played on my own for a little bit. But I came back for Battlefield 1, and over there I was a squad member. And interesting story about Typical Veteran is something that you guys probably didn't know, but actually, funny story, your Corps Commander, Typical Veteran, has never left IN. Did you guys know that? I've never been in an ST squad. Ever. Ever. So I joined Battlefield 1. I was in IN, and immediately the squad leader there had a squad assistant position open, and he took a liking to me, and I applied for the squad assistant job, and I was squad assistant there. And then some real-life things came into play for the squad leader, so I moved up to squad leader. He went on leave, and I was IN squad leader for a while in Battlefield 1. I remember back then some names that you guys might remember now, or at least recognize now. This is long ago. Crojack was my XO, and Aces Kill You was my CO, and he eventually moved to BGC. He is the BGC of Apex Xbox One right now, and Crojack is the DO of Ghost Recon. So those guys were at one time my COC.
And the table
so long story short, yeah, well, no, not really. We're still really good friends. I still love those dudes. I still talk to them all the time. Even Crojack, even though he's not in First Corps, I make it a point to check on him, see how he's doing. He's also another Ohioan, lives 30-40 minutes away from me. So long story short, I was squad leader for Battlefield 1 for a while. And I did my time there. I felt like I did a really good job in IN. People would contact me and love. I mean, I even had people that say, "Hey, man, I just want to come back in IN and chill with you." But yeah, I did that for a long time, and then Destiny 2 announced that they were opening, and I was like, "Oh my God, here's my chance!" Right? PS4, Destiny 2. That's where I started. Right? Well, I started in Battlefield 1, but this is where I got my big break. And I remember interviewing with TG Halo Hobo I applied for IN squad staff in Destiny. I was like, this is the bee's knees. This is awesome. I get to meet all the new people. This is the best position in TG, IN squad leader. I was like, this is awesome. I'm going to be IN squad leader for Destiny. I applied, and I really hoped that I got the position. And he interviewed me for it. And he interviewed me just like he would interview any other squad staff. But I kind of caught on that he was throwing me questions that maybe were a little bit higher than squad staff. They were a little bit more in-depth about TG. He was really just kind of testing my knowledge. And at the end of the interview, he said, all right, well, I accept your application for executive officer. And I said, whoa, wait a minute. I applied for squad leader. And he said, yeah, you're an IN squad leader in Battlefield, and you've been there forever. I'm really surprised you haven't applied for battalion staff. And I said, you know what? I never really even thought about it. And he said, you should think about it. I'm fully willing to accept your squad staff application as an XO application right now. And, I said, give me a day and let's talk again. And we did. And I talked again and he kind of shed some light on it, shed his vision with me. And I have kind of adopted some things from him and some things from some other people that I have met in TG. And I accepted the XO position. And Halo Hobo and Epsi really kind of taught me how to build. And I realized that, whether it's real life or TG or anything, there's always something whenever you meet somebody, whether they're a position above you or a position below you or they're your colleague, whatever. I can always find something good from somebody and take that with me. So I took several things from Epsi and Hobo. I've had a lot of success, but I can't really take credit for that. I have to give that to those guys because they're the ones who taught me. They're the ones that gave me the methods to my madness. When it comes to building divisions, building from the ground up, I feel like is a more successful way. I got that from Hobo. That's not written anywhere in any TG manual. Hey, you build from a squad staff, you build from an XO, and you give them short-term and long-term goals to move up. And that's how I've always ran it. And you know what? So far, now I'll never say that I've never not made a mistake in TG, but so far I'm undefeated in passing trial divisions. I'm not tooting my own horn. Like I said, I can't take credit for any of that. That's Epsi and that's Hobo. Those guys taught me how to do it. So far they have given me the opportunity to be undefeated by giving me the tools to be successful. So long story short, Epsi was my core commander in Destiny, and Hobo was the chief of staff. Before Epsi stepped into the picture, Hobo would give me short-term goals, things like, hey, open up an ST squad, build a culture in IN, hire some squad staff. And I did those things. I took those goals serious, and then I would move to CO. And then eventually, when Epsi became in charge, he did the same thing. Hey, man, this is what I want to see. If you can show me this, you can show me that you can be a BGC. Move to BGC of PS4. I started in PS4 with one guy from Battlefield and then another guy from what actually was supposed to be Destiny PC. This guy's name was Arwen. But he also had a PS4, and there was nobody in PC, so he bought Destiny for PS4 just to practice with me. I reached out to him on the forums. He was in his 60s. He's an older gentleman. Learned a lot from Arwen. Arwen was amazing. He's a huge contributor to my success in Destiny. So I became the BGC, and Arwen and some of those guys started moving up with me. Arwen was my CO for a while. And then eventually what had happened is I built such a culture over in Destiny that I started to get some really good transfers, and the division itself started to recruit itself. Now, I'm not saying that every division staff should strive to be lazy, but it got to the point to where Destiny could run itself, and as a BGC, I could just go have fun. I could just go have fun knowing that the people that I had trained were gonna do it, and they had the recruiting nights going, and all I had to do was show up and help them. That's all I had to do. So really, it was super easy. I've had a lot of success, and it wasn't because of me. It was because of the people that worked with me and the people that took the message that I conveyed seriously, and really ran with that culture. Fast forward a few months later, I get a transfer. His name is Sarge. Current Destiny Dio, great guy. I learned so much from Sarge. He is up there with Epsi and Hobo. When it comes to conflict resolution, I learned most of everything that I've gotten from Sarge, Epsi, and Hobo. Really, those guys have kind of taught me how to ease tensions, how to, when's the time to throw the hammer, when's the time to lay back. Those guys have taught me so much. When it comes to recruiting and building cultures, events, Sarge is the man. I mean, that guy is awesome. I think super highly of him. I think that if I ever met him in real life, I probably owe him about 100 beers. Sarge and I I mean, you talk about a guy that I could bounce ideas off of all day, and he would keep me honest too. Sarge was my BGC when I became Destiny DO, and Sarge would keep me honest, man. He was a great mind. I could go to him with anything, and I could say, "Hey, listen, talk me down from this or talk me out of this. Why shouldn't I?" And even if he agreed with me, he's such an objective thinker that he could put himself on the other side of the argument and try and talk me out of it, and he would give me the pros and cons before I would even go present an argument. And that's how we functioned so well as a team. Sarge was a great guy to have. Epsy was awesome too. Yeah, I mean, you want to talk about prompt and ready assistance. I never asked Epsy for anything that I didn't get. So far to this day, I haven't been told no by Epsy. And I've been told no by a lot of people in TG, but Epsy has never just told me flat out, no, not doing that. So far, Epsy has been the guy that if I needed a tool, he was right there to hand me the tools to be successful. Sarge was my objective thinker. He was my recruiting mind. He was my everything, man. I hope that I taught him as much as he taught me. But I mean, that guy is awesome. Halo Hobo, goals, building from the bottom, conflict resolution, building an environment, building a culture. That guy is a wealth of knowledge in all those subjects. I mean, he's been here for so long, he's seen it. So I can go to him with metaphorical situations and I can get answers and solve problems before they present themselves. So that's what I really like about Hobo. And I could do the same thing with Epsy. Epsy is a great guy for that too. I mean, conflict resolution. I remember a time where I was in the wrong and we had a TGMP, and you know what? I just had to have that private conversation with Epsy, and he just told me, he was like, "Hey, listen, you jacked this up," and yeah, I did. So I had to own that. I had to take responsibility. I had to fix it. Sometimes the answer is no. Sometimes you're wrong. We're not always right. So tons of stuff, man. Fast forward a couple of months later, I get an opportunity to become head trainer. Casey moves up to corps commander. And I'm head trainer, and we do all sorts of great things. We had the funny awards for New Year's. I gave everybody a little meme, and I made fun of them. That was 2 years ago.
Oh yeah, you made me one of them, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I'll put that on screen in the edit.
Yeah. We had some fun times. I was always really good with hiring ATs. I had some of the best ATs, man. I had great people at AT. And I really feel like the training office was thriving while I was there. And you know what? Again, another one of these situations. I can't take credit for all of that. I can't take credit for any of it really. I just had great staff, just like I do now. First Corps is so successful, and it's not because of typical veteran. It's because of people like Rare Cosmic Pepe who just kill it every day, man. They kill it every day. Tony Howell, who is on the game from the time he gets off of work until he goes to bed. I mean, that guy's effort is just it's insane. Squared, her experience is just volume. She's seen it all. Valhalla, Shark Vader, all of these people that I want to mention. I wish we had time that I could sit down and say something good about all of my staff, but all of my staff are amazing. And it's not just the DO level. I could go down to squad leaders like Govan, who just set the example of what it is to be a TG member. And guys like that, I just, you see somebody like Govan in a Discord chat, and then you see everybody joining him because people just gravitate towards natural leadership like Govan's. So, I mean, I have great staff, and on top of my great staff, I have a great assist team too. Mrs. V with her training office. I mean, the ATs that we have in First Corps, we are just overpowered. The training office is so valuable. And it's one thing that I really just, if there's any DOs that listen to this, I really want to impress about you. Use your ATs more. Use your ATs more. Don't have meetings without your AT. Your AT should be involved with everything. Everything. Doesn't matter. Any hiring decision, any kind of event that you guys are planning, anything. Involve your AT. That's what they're there for. Their quality assurance. Bounce ideas off of these people. Use your training office. And that's what makes First Course so successful, is we have that line of quality assurance. We have great leaders. We have great personalities. And everybody is working super hard. So the reason that we've had such high success, or the reason that I have had such high success, is because it's really simple. I've had great mentors and I have great staff. So that was a super long-winded answer. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, I know. It went for 15 minutes on a little, who are you? But yeah, I mean, you've had a long pass. I forgot that you were actually part of the training office. In my mind,
I
that completely
for a while.
skipped. Like it was you were div staff, and it was like boom, straight core commander. But no, you had that whole thing on the side with the training office. But yeah, cool. Well, some of the things you touched on, like regarding your staff members and your DOs and whatnot, I'll jump back to them in a second. But because Pepe's new, we did have a previous co-host last time, who is no longer with us. But Cosmic, go on. Try not to be long-winded like veteran, but go on. Give us a bit of backstory on who you are, what divisions you've been in, positions you've gone through, that sort of stuff.
I have questions for Pepe too, if it's not out of line.
It depends what the question is.
I'm Rare Cosmo Pepe. I am the CEO of Apex PS4. I am still really green when it comes to TG. I joined in February, I think. And we were in a big time of rebuilding.
4 months ago, you're already CO. Jeez.
We were rebuilding a lot. There was, I think, 10 people in the whole brigade when I joined.
Real recognized real.
Yeah, including like all battalion staff.
Yeah, we went through a horrible exodus.
Yeah, so I came in and was an IN for about a month, and then I got promoted to. I ended up getting promoted straight to CO. I had applied for EXO under Elk, and he had just gotten promoted to BGC. So from there, I just did a lot of recruiting for Apex, and then I started streaming more, and I'm the social media team lead for the PRO office now, and that's been super fun, just helping to manage an awesome team of point of contacts who are helping to get our information out, share TG with the rest of the world in our community. My story is still in progress, honestly. There's not a whole lot that I can tell you about me, but I know that there is more in the future that I can tell you.
I can speak to Rare Cosmics real quick. I mean, he's such an influence, obviously, in Apex. I mean, the guys in PS4 super gravitate towards him, even when he was just a squad leader, even when he was just a squad member. The guys in Apex absolutely love him. It's like Tony Howell. Tony Howell was never a BGC. He jumped from CO straight to DO, and it's because I've never met somebody that was so unanimously loved by the entire division that he just, he got the position. And I had other applicants. I had other applicants for that position that were super qualified and could have been DO and done a great job. They could still be DO today. Rare Cosmic has this knack for people to gravitate towards him. Not only does he do it in Apex, he comes over, he plays some Valorant. He's multi-console. He's got the PS4 and the PC. So he's knocking it out of the park with streams, and he's playing Valorant and Apex, and he's joining in. And not only is he helping his own division, but he's helping build the culture in a trial division right now, which is something that's super hard to do. Passing trial divisions takes a lot of work.
It does,
and Pepe, even though he has no obligation to Valorant whatsoever, I mean, he goes over there just as a guest to play with people, and people enjoy him. And you know what? That is half of the battle, because if you don't like playing with us, you're not going to stick around long. And Pepe makes it easy to play with. He's one of those easy guys to talk to. Him and I have had several offline conversations. I hit Pepe up for stream advice all the time. I hit him up for, and not only does he help me with that, I mean, he's got my back in just about any project that I turn. super involved in the Apex tournaments. Pepe was a competitive player. So yeah, I mean, we super value Rare Cosmic Pepe, not only in Apex but in TG in general. We love that dude. So
Yeah, everyone's got like a big backstory. I mean, like, you know, it's crazy to think that the people that we're gonna have on the show, and for those who are watching, if you are a squad member and you've only just joined, don't be disheartened. Don't think that you have to have this big line, like this big history of being in TG to be a part of the cast. If you're interested, I'm gonna set something up, like sort of, you know, with the questionnaire sheet, something similar to that, where, you know, you can put your name down to come onto it, and, you know, if push comes to shove, when, you know, we don't have certain individuals that we would like to interview firsthand, then we'll look to get like a squad member or even a squad staff or, like, you know, battalion staff on board. But for the time being, whilst we get this thing up and running, we're going to look to get, obviously, like, so the high rollers, like, you know, like veteran. We're going to get Mrs. Vendetta on as well, who's the head trainer. But yeah, like, sort of these whole big histories and whatnot, in a way they do come together. Like, so I'm pretty sure, Vet, when you were in Destiny, you asked for some things to be made for PS4, and I've still got them on my on my hard drive today.
yeah,
I'm pretty sure it was a YouTube banner.
yeah.
I'm almost, yeah, that's it. But yeah, like, sort of with Pepe in social media, under the PRO is he's my COC for social media because I run the Instagram page, but then I'm his COC because I run the stream team. And it's the same with Madness as well, because because I'm under Madness in the Pro division, Pro office, sorry, he's under me for digital media because he's a graphic designer as well. So all these things just like kind of intertwine with different people. You've no idea where your paths will cross and so on.
Madness is a scrub, and he needs to pipe down. I want to say that at least one time on the TG podcast. Pipe down, Madness.
There was a question he actually asked me. Where is it? Oh, I'm gonna find it now.
Pipe down, Madness.
There you go. The shades are on everything. There you go. Why do you feel the need to bother Madness all the time?
Oh, why not? Listen,
Why
if I
not?
could
Yeah.
give you guys any squad member advice, anybody who's bother Madness. Bother Madness.
Yeah.
Yes. No, Madness is awesome. Madness is the voice of TG. I mean, he's the pro head, right?
Yeah.
He's who you put out there. He's the guy that you talk to. Hey, listen, the image of TG as a whole. This is what we need to convey, right? I want to convey this to the members. I want to convey this to the public. This is what I envision. Tell me how to work out the details. And Madness is a genius when it comes to stuff like that. So I use him. Madness helped me set up the subsidies for Shenanigans. Madness has helped, you know, the TWC set up every TWC Q&A night.
Yeah, the Q&A streams.
Madness, I mean, he's the guy, man. He has done a lot for TG. I mean, the work that I put on, the mental stress that I have caused Madness. Oh, man. You know, there's some times when I come to Madness and I'm like, hey, I need this idea and I need it out in 2 days. And Madness is like, you're crazy. And I'm like, I'll help you. And we knock things out, man. I tell you what, Madness and I make a good team. We knock it out. If the only advice that I would give people, if you are going to bother Madness, right, which you should bother Madness, but if you are going to present something to Madness, be willing to assist him because he will work for you. He will work his hands to the bone for you. But you had better be willing to lead by example and put in just as much work as him. If he asks for something, you better have an answer like immediately, or at least if you don't have an answer, be willing to find the answer to it. You know, if you come with a problem, you better have a solution. So Madness is awesome, and not only that, his personality is just he's got one of those personalities. He's super easy to talk to, super nice guy, you know, and he's funny. So I mess with Madness a lot. We're really good friends. We talk a lot offline, and I don't bother Madness just when I need something. I bother Madness just because Madness is fun. So yeah, Madness and have a good friendship. I feel like we have a good working relationship. Also, Madness is also another one of those people in TG who has never told me no. He's never told me no yet, and I love those people because if you never tell me no, then that means that I can keep working until I get it done, and I'm one of those people that will charge into it until I get it done.
There's a lot of things that Madness does that
Oh,
not
yeah.
a lot of people kind of come to comprehend. Like, so the new thing with the Discord, it's something so minor and it can take seconds to do. But, like so with the sponsored chat and then the sponsored stream chat where you can post your channel links, 9 times out of 10, he has something to do with it. Like, he'll put his 2 cents towards it. He's working now on the TG store. There's a lot of things that like the pro office do, not just having like social media and the news team and whatnot, but a lot of things behind closed doors that not even I get to see, and I get to see quite a bit. Well, I say that, I don't, but I do at the same time. It's funny because it's true in a way. Like, I get to see a lot of things that go on behind pro, but then that's like this compared to this big massive thing. But yeah, there's a lot of positions, and different people will do a lot of different things. But we just give it props to people like him,
Yeah, absolutely. Madness has great staff, and Madness is good people.
Did you hear that, Pepe? Oh, we great. Oh. Oh, great. Ooh.
Madness is one of those guys that has a charge in his head similar to mine. He doesn't take no for an answer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like to take no for an answer. I realize that sometimes the answer is just no. But if you get an answer of no, it means that you need to represent the idea in a better fashion. You need to rethink why you got the no answer, and you need to either come back with something better, or honestly, you should probably bounce some ideas off of your other staff.
Yeah.
But sometimes the answer is just no. But to me, I really hate no answers. I've learned to take them, but Madness is one of those guys that when he sees an objective in front of him, he is going to crush it by any means necessary. And I really I admire his determination. So all of us could take a lesson from Madness and motivation. So
Exactly.
yeah.
All right. Well, we've got a few questions like round up. So,
Sure.
as you said, you are currently first corps commander. You've got 4 divisions. You've got Overwatch, Apex, Tarkov, and Valorant. 3 of those are very competitive. Pepe being in one of them, and helping out with a second. So, in the aspect that you've got 3 very competitive divisions, what's it like, or what's your mindset to recruiting, and how do you put that forward to the front of people to try and get those recruits in? This could help for likes of upcoming divisions coming through in a different core. You've got Escape from Tarkov. It's not a very competitive sort of game as in likes of an esport, but
Not yet.
It's been out for.
It's still beta.
Is it still beta? Okay.
It's still beta. Yeah, it's not even out yet.
It is a very good looking game.
Oh yeah.
I was watching Shroud play it yesterday.
Oh, he's insane, isn't he?
He is. He's a god. He was going for like a building, and I'm thinking, as stupid as it sounds, one thing that I think this would be good, maybe like some sort of like an infection, but thinking, no, that's DayZ. Just how the game looks, it's beautiful. The mechanics and the style and the gameplay, it looks great. But definitely going to pick it up at some point. But yeah,
so you really got to have keyboard skills mastered. I mean, that is a keyboard-heavy game.
I was going to say, it looks like it. But yeah, because you got those 3 divisions like Overwatch, Apex, and Valorant, what are your techniques, your tactics, your go-tos to push recruitment for those sort of divisions that are so highly competitive?
So, there's a couple of different tactics, right, that you use. So, I would say the hardest to recruit for isn't actually Tarkov, or actually Tarkov might be because it's still in beta. There's just not a lot of people playing it, and there's no game chat. So you you really are stuck to forum recruiting on Tarkov right now, and
Yeah.
it's region locked, which makes it harder. So Tarkov probably being the hardest one to recruit for, but if we're talking strictly competitive, I would say Overwatch is a little bit harder to recruit for on the PC side, but on console, it's a breeze. On console, Overwatch has an in-game LFG system that you can literally post up, hey, I'm recruiting for my team. And you can get people to come into your game chat all day long and you can talk to them. I mean, if you sit there for an hour with that post up, people will come into your lobby, you can talk to them, and you could probably get some fairly easy signups. Now, finding like-minded people is a little bit different. Typically, what I like to do is I like to throw that post up and I will play a couple of games with those people and I will gauge their personalities before I even go into my recruiting pitch to them.
Yeah.
Console's easier. Now, PC, people don't use that LFG system as much, so you're stuck to LFG, Discords, and game chat, and it makes it a little bit harder. Not only that, the game is several years old now, so the population is dying down on it a little bit, but it's not impossible. So what I use for tactics-wise to recruit for games like Overwatch that have a little bit of history, they've been out for a while, they've obviously got a huge competitive scene, is I like to use the TG Wall of Honor, the Roll of Honor. I'll send that to people, and I'll be like, listen, we've been a community since 2004. These are our accomplishments. We've got this down to a science. If you're looking to do big things, to do great things, get your name up here, go to tournaments. We have a competition team. We have, several COC in place. This is a very organized community. We even, we meet twice a week minimum, and most competitive teams are meeting 4 to 5 to 6 times a week to practice.
Yeah.
So if you're really looking to go competitive, this is the place for you. And then I pull some of my competitive players because let's be honest, in Overwatch, I am not the best player. I'm not terrible, but if I'm going out recruiting, I'm definitely not going to impress them. But I do have people that can impress. So I lean on guys like Govin. Govin is a competitive Overwatch PC player, and he will go out on runs with me, and he'll play games, and these, Govin just carries so hard when he plays that it's just like guys are like, you got more guys like him? And I'm like, yeah, I got a whole squad of them. And they're like, yeah, I want to get on that. So I lean on my staff to recruit. I really do. It doesn't matter if you are somebody who can talk to new people or somebody who can, go out and write great big Reddit LFG posts. You just have to build that environment of recruiting. And an environment of recruiting just means that you need to have people that will be on. If you are going to go recruit, know that you should probably, if you have a 6-player lobby, you should probably have at least 4 TG members so that you can control the conversation. You've got your 4 guys, your 4 buddies to back you up. And then you can give your pitch and you can talk to these people knowing that you have the numbers in the lobby and that you control the lobby. And typically that helps a lot. When it comes to like Valorant, I've actually had more success streaming, getting people to come in. I've gotten so many recruits off of my stream, and I got Pepe to help me with that. If you're going to stream and recruit, never stream alone. Always have somebody in the lobby with you. The last thing you want to do is watch somebody stream and they're not saying anything.
Yeah.
Boring, right? You're on
Yeah.
camera and you're just sitting there like a bump on a log, right? No, always have
That
somebody in
face,
voice
though.
chat with you, right?
Yeah.
Always have somebody in voice with you. It's super simple, and then you can bat the conversation back. Pepe and I can chit chat about things. We can be funny. We can get that charisma out there, that personality. Also, still while keeping it clean for TG people. I see a lot of streamers now that they're using this horrendous language. You don't need that. You don't need it.
No.
Honestly, I get my message just across just fine without having to talk politics or jam out some ugly words. I get my point across just fine. I've had more success streaming Valorant recruits than anything else, but you can pick them up in game because Valorant has game chat. And Apex is pretty simple too. Apex Xbox has the LFG system, so you can post an LFG, say, hey, listen, I'm recruiting for these people. and then word of mouth spreads. You harbor that environment of recruiting, and then when you get to a point to where you filled IN and you can make IN fun, because the most important part of recruiting is your IN. If your IN squad is not fun, people are not going to stay.
Yeah.
And you're not going to have any success recruiting. So step one is make IN great again, right? You make IN great. It's fun. It's awesome. You get these new players in there. They're playing with some staff. They're playing with their battalion staff, and they're being, coached, and they're having fun. They're winning. So you've got IN to be fun, and then you're filling it up, right? So your step two is like recruiting nights or blanket posts, things like that. You're going to LFG Discords and you're finding players. And you get them to attend. You get them to apply. You get them to attend. And I would say don't stop after you get one person to apply, because I got to tell you, the metrics of it, if you get 10 people to apply, two of them might do the BC test. So those are real metrics, right? 2 to 3 people out of every 10 that you recruit might do that BC test. So you've really got to try.
Yeah.
I mean, it's tough to get recruits. I think I have like 88 or 89 referrals or something to my name, and they weren't easy to come by. If you do that metric, that means I've given the site out and gotten 800 and something people to apply, almost 900 people to apply. So you've really got to get your name out there. You've got to have a good personality, or at least have the numbers, have the people around you that can harbor that fun environment, because we're all about having fun here. This is a completely volunteer community. The staff are volunteer. So get those guys to come out, hang with you, make IN fun. And when you've got those problems solved, people in IN will recruit their friends. And then you've finally built that environment of recruiting. Your division starts recruiting itself.
Yeah.
And then you can back out and watch it grow. I'm not saying you should back out and stop, but I'm saying your job is easier.
Take a back foot to it, yeah. It's like when I was, this is going back a long time, when Counter-Strike was a division. I was a squad member, I think. Was a squad member or was I a squad staff? Anyway, I, in a way, like, sort of, it felt repetitive. You join practice, you do your 2 hours, and then sometimes people would stay on and go over and do more games and whatnot. But it was just like sort of the same sort of game, win, loss, whatever.
Yeah.
So
gotta have some events.
What I done differently is, you could probably say this is the wrong idea, but in a way it helped. I myself, because I was feeling repetitive, even though the game and the squad members were finding it fine, I felt I was being repetitive, and I was just on a tape recorder playing play, rewind, play, that sort of thing. So I left and I joined the Armour Division. This is back when this was open. Joined their IN for about a month and a half. They ran complete different tactics, different ways of like actually doing the practice and the paperwork and getting people involved in like the operations and whatnot. Counter-Strike and Armour, they are on complete two different spectrums and two different sides of the game category and genre and whatnot. So, and when I was there for a while and I picked up on a few things, I thought, this would really work if I were to go back to Counter-Strike and implement it. And in a way I did that. I stole some ideas, went back to Counter-Strike, implemented them. IN numbers went through the roof. Pretty sure I had like 20 or near 30 people in IN, and it's 5 people per squad, because it's Counter-Strike, so it's 5 per team. And we already had like 4 or 5 teams at that time, so I'm thinking, I'm an SL right now. I've got these people here. Oh crap, I'm over flooded. The whole 2nd battalion was just, it boomed by itself because of making making IN fun.
It's a good feeling.
It sort of engaging, yeah. And then that's when I got promoted to CO and then to BGC.
That's why Halo Hobo has put that doctrine out that INs will be full all the time, and that's the exact reason why, is because if you have an empty IN and then you recruit one guy, that one guy is going to play alone. Let's say you don't have squad staff in IN. Now that one dude is playing with the CO. I mean, would you want to come to practice and play with the same guy every night? I mean, no, you've got to keep IN filled. And that's the method behind the madness there. If you keep IN full, that means IN will be fun. That means people will keep coming in. And that's what harbors your environment of recruiting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you talked a little bit about leaning on your staff to help you. I
Oh
know
yeah,
Corps Commander
awesome staff.
is a huge job, so you need those people to be there to delegate some of your tasks to make sure that stuff is getting done in the divisions.
Yeah.
On that note, how do you choose who's going to be your DO, your like right hand guy or gal for whatever game it is? Like, is there any specific thing that you look for, or anything that really can turn you away from a person?
Mainly money. Who's willing to pay the most? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Hobo!
No.
Hobo!
So I select DOs. So far, I've hired several DOs. But you know what, man? I like to be involved all the way to the squad member level. I love to go to practice. Even as a corps commander, I don't miss practice. If I'm going to miss practice, I tell my DOs. So I know that I can't get AWOLs, but I still excuse myself from practice. I don't technically have to go, but I still do because I expect them to tell me if they can't come. I expect my DOs and my BGCs to tell me if they can't make it, right? So that being said, when it comes to choosing a DO, there's several factors that go into play, right? First, I post an application, and then everybody who applies automatically gets somewhat of a talk, right? I pull them aside. I have like a little sub interview, right?
Yeah.
So if you apply for DO, typically, even if I don't think that you have a snowball's chance, I'm still going to give you, a talk, right?
Yeah.
Then I take my final candidates and I do a promotion board. I'm not sure if you guys have ever been into a promotion board, but a promotion board is something that Hobo and Epsi helped me coin a long time ago when I was Destiny DO. So promotion board for a high staff level position like that is I'll typically lean on other staff so that I'm not promoting my friends. It's a completely non-biased decision. So what I will do is I will gather 3 other DOs. So I'll give you an example. If I were to promote Tony Howell to DO, right? I would gather somebody from each branch of life. So I would gather somebody like Mrs. V, the head trainer. I would gather somebody like Crowjack, who's a Ghost Recon DO. And I would gather somebody like, TG Legendary or TGH Squared, who, those guys have been DOs forever. They have a wealth of knowledge. And I'll say, hey, listen, guys, I need you all to come up with 3 questions apiece. And I need you to ask these questions. I want you to rotate around the room. One person ask a question, then the next person asks a question. And so you've asked all your 3 questions. I want you to grade the applicant's answer on a scale of 1 to 10. And I want you to come back to me with a total score. I have a little report card format that I put out. Those scores get sent back to me, and then the person with the highest score is promoted to that position. So typically, yes, I'm hiring DOs, but it's a non-biased decision. Every man for themselves. Somebody from a squad member level can apply for DO, and if they interview the best, they're going to get the job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that kind of eliminates the buddy system. That kind of eliminates a little bit of stress off of me. It's a completely non-biased decision. It is all in the hands of the scores. The questions asked to each applicant are all the same, and they're not shared between interviews. So if Tony Howell and Rare Cosmic Pepe both applied to be Apex DO, and I had a board of judges in that interview room, they're going to get the same questions, and whoever's answers are better, whoever scores higher, is going to win that job. So that's typically how I would hire a DO. And so far, that's the way that I've done it. And I'd like to say so far I've been successful.
That's awesome.
I mean,
Definitely,
you've not been like too successful because I'm gonna have to say it because HS has pineapple on a pizza, and I'm get out.
Listen, I know that's
Fired.
just pure communism. Yeah, I get it, man. And pineapples on pizza, that's communism to a T.
That's disgusting.
Agree.
True story.
But yeah.
No, I love H Squared. She's a wealth of knowledge. She's been DO so long now.
She has, yeah. I've not seen anyone in that sort of like taking over Overwatch for a while.
One of my biggest honors one of my biggest honors as a Corps commander was handing her meritorious promotion because of how long she's been in service. I was so happy to do that. That was a great feeling for me.
Speaking
awesome.
of service, we got a question come through. As I said before,
Sure.
with the online forum. This is from TG Mitchell. He was the Call of Duty division officer, but has had to step down due to personal life and whatnot. Now he said, and this is what it relates to what you just said about with HS's tenure and whatnot. Do you think that TG should enforce a term limit to div staff to maintain a sort of like a turnover rate, so that more people can like get the experience of being a div staff? So like like you said, HS has been DO for a long time. Do you think there should be a turnover point to give other people a chance and other people a shot?
I could see both sides of that question. A term limit, yes. If we had people just applying left and right to be DO, yeah, absolutely. I could see both sides of that. But on the other side of the coin, I got to tell you, man, I really love our DOs. Look, my son's gonna get involved. This is Nicholas. Nicholas
What's
is
up,
my
Nicholas?
youngest.
What's up, Nicholas?
Hey, buddy, go upstairs. In a little bit, you can play. So, yeah, I mean, I got to tell you, man, Mitchell was a great DO. Some of the DOs that we've had in service for a really long time. This is what I deal with. Go upstairs,
Life
buddy.
with kids.
Yeah.
Go upstairs. Go talk to mommy. Go see what mommy's doing. Later. I'll give you the code later. He's a cute kid. So, I mean, some of the DOs that we've had in service for very long, I wouldn't want to replace them. I wouldn't want to give them a term limit. Guys like Legendary, H-Squared, Crojack, Sarge. I mean, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Those guys are still very valuable, and still have a lot left to offer.
Yeah.
As for term limits, I mean, Legendary, Squared, and Sarge, as much as it would hurt TG, they're free to step down whenever they want. They've obviously made their 6-month commitment, and they could step down to a squad member level or even take a promotion, which I honestly, I hope all of them get promoted. I wish that we had 9 cores so that we could have 9 corps commanders. I wish that we had that many games. I wish that we had the members to support it. So as for term limits, no, I don't think so. Not yet, at least. Maybe if something drastic in the future changes to where you just have so many people applying for DO that the water is so muddy that you kind of have to like take a step back and really think, well, I've seen what this guy's offered for 6 months. Let's go with this guy now. But to be honest, I'm not of that mindset. To me, if you're doing a good job as DO, you're going to keep that job as DO because a lot of people get that job and they love it. H-Squared was a DO longer than me. Was a DO, and I got promoted to head trainer, and I was like, wow, it's crazy that Squared didn't get that job. Corps commander, stuff like that. I mean, those are all high-level positions, but these guys are happy with the DO spot. I mean, they love their division, and their division loves them, so not broken. I'm not going to fix it.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
If something, like you said before, if something's not broken, there's no need to fix it. Unless they're doing something completely drastically wrong that, with your mentorship and whatnot, just isn't working out, and they're not grasping what needs to be done, then obviously those measures need to be taken in some sort of stance.
But I love Mitch, and that's a great question. Honestly,
Yeah.
Mitch can give you some mind benders sometimes. He's
Mitch was my DO back in college in Counter Strike.
Good dude.
He's a really good dude. He's a really sound dude. Yeah.
Continuing on that complicated question, we have one from H-Squared. She wants you to explain military time.
Oh God! All right. So this comes from a spot that I was okay. So let me explain this one to the audience because they probably don't have a lot of context. Reliant and I were playing Escape from Tarkov, and he started making fun of me because I'm in the military, and I was in the wrong screen, and he was like, "Yeah, we're going." So in Tarkov, when you pick a map, you have to pick a time zone if you want to play it day or at night, right? And they have military times up. So I wasn't at that screen yet, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm in this level at 07." I'm like, "Wait a minute, what 07? What are you talking about?" And he's like, 07. And I'm like, "What are you?" I was brand new to the game. I had no idea about the time zone things yet. And Squared just happened to be in voice chat, and I think it was even during a stream too. So yeah, I got humiliated on that one. He's like, "Do you not know military time?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" "Yeah, I know military time." So yeah, long story short, military time, 24-hour scale. Instead of going from noon to 1 p.m., you just go to 1300, 1400, 1500, so on and so forth. So yes, I know military time. Thanks, Squared.
I mean,
Appreciate the troll.
when that question got submitted and I read it on the email, I'm thinking, it's just it. Come on, Squared. I mean,
Squared loves to troll me. It's one of her
if
favorite
she
things to do
can't-
during the day.
I can understand that she couldn't understand military time because she has pineapple on pizza. So
Ah,
I mean,
it is disgusting. It is disgusting. It's like anchovies. Only communists eat anchovies too.
yeah.
Ooh.
Right. So again, some more indie. Oh, we're proper grilling you tonight, man.
Let's do it. Do it.
So,
I'm all ears.
quick fire round.
Sure.
Within TG. Okay, I'm gonna give you all these questions now. I'm gonna give you 4. So.
Okay.
1. Name something in TG that you're gonna change, or that you would like to change, or like see that would be changed.
I want a public Discord.
To like general public.
I want general public. Anyone's welcome. TG rules enforced, but the general public is there. Squads from PC can practice in there and use it to recruit. That's what I want. That is priority number 1 for me right now, is getting a public Discord for TG. It is a hot topic in TWC. I need to talk to my colleagues about it. Cannot say that it's going to happen. I cannot say that it is already in the works, but I can say that we are in discussions for it, and you will have an update soon. I would love a public TG Discord, something that the pro can put their news articles out in, something that
He's back.
something that we can invite recruits to, and something that we can give a good name for TG.
Okay. Name 3 of your top achievements.
Ooh, my staff. I have to say my staff. Meritorious promotion for Squared. Sarge is a DO to Destiny, even though he's not in first core, but I don't hate him for that. And the fact that I've never failed a trial division yet. So far, I've passed every trial division that I have set foot in.
What is one of your worst moments within TG?
Ooh, worst moment within TG. Come here, Nick. You want to be involved? Come on. Come sit next to me. There, buddy. So worst moment in TG. Wow. To be completely fair, I love TG. I haven't had any bad moments. I've had things that make me less than happy, but it's not personal. This is a volunteer community. I disliked several years ago, there was a mass exodus of Rainbow Six.
Yeah, I heard about
And
that.
I do believe there was a big Discord thing that happened. That was kind of, I guess, a low point for TG, but we recovered super quickly from that.
Oh yeah, 100%.
These exoduses are going to happen. They happen. People get sour attitudes, but it's crazy that all that happened, and like these guys apply to come back like months later.
Yeah.
We had an Apex exodus, and like it wasn't a week, and I was getting applications for these guys to come back. These guys that had just cussed out all their COC and said, "I'm out." And then a week later, they're applying. Oh, yeah, well, the grass wasn't greener on the other side. It never works, guys. Never works, all right? Never works. There is a page devoted to XTG members who create their own clan and it fails. And sometimes I'll go to that forum just to get a little tee-hee.
I've seen that when I was like I said, when I was back in Call of Duty and I was the Xbox One BGC, had a similar sort of incident where I even got cussed out by a former member. They were saying it was
it's great, isn't it?
yeah, it was. I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, it wasn't even like stuff down to because I knew the COC at the time. It was down to the fact that I had the experience and that division and that brigade at the time, it needed it, and it worked.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a shame what happens to some people. You get that sour mind in it. But
watching people go on leave or honorable discharge sometimes is a tough thing to see.
yeah,
I remember in Apex there was a 2nd Battalion PC guy named Nero 5 that had just had so much potential, and it was such a good dude, and he left for the military, and I wish him the best. That is an honorable cause, and that is amazing that he would do that. But he was so good for 2nd Battalion PC. He did such a good job. Watching guys like that go on leave is pretty tough sometimes.
I think your kid's having too much fun in the background there.
He is. He's having so much fun.
All right, tell you what, I do apologize. I've not passed this one over to Pepe, and I should have, but I'm just going to very quickly pass this one to you so you can read that out, and then we can go from there.
All right. TG Dr. Danger wants to know what your most challenging position was in your TG career.
Oh, head trainer. Hands down head trainer. Notoriously loved and hated at the same time by everybody. Head trainer. I mean, you are the guy that calls people out sometimes, and you've got to be there and be like, no, this is the way that it's supposed to be. You're that line of quality assurance, but you're also their best friend, because when they get new staff, when you've got these new leaders, you get a great opportunity to put your hands on them and mold them and say, listen, this is the way that it's done. This is the way that it's supposed to be done. This is how we do it here in TG. This is going forward. So it's the most challenging, but the most rewarding position in TG, because you really are put into a position to influence everybody from squad assistant all the way up to TWC. I still lean on Miss V to this day for questions and things like that. When I am short on time, 2 trial divisions at once, I'm in a tough spot. So I have to lean on her and her assistance to help me train new staff. And I have full faith in them that they can absolutely mold a squad assistant or a squad leader into a great leader, and let me put my personal touches on them after they've met the standard. So the training office is all about teaching, this is the standard, meet the standard right here. And then when they get to me on my level of staff's training, is like, okay, you've seen the standard now. Now I want you to exceed the standard, exceed my standards, work like me, get like me, work at my pace. So the training office was fun, and it was challenging, though. I would say that is the most challenging position in TG, head trainer.
Cool.
All right.
And then I think we can have just one last one. I've got it right here. So, as we know, and we've covered it, God knows how many times, you are the first Corps CC. What's it like actually being a Corps commander? Like what's just what's it like? Go on.
It's great. It's great. It's humbling. You get a lot of praise, and it's because of the work of the staff that you have. I try as much as I can to pass down everything that I get to them. But you're also the first point of contact when there's a fire. So a lot of being a Corps commander is really just about mentoring staff. And that's the best part of it. There are some bad parts of it that I don't know if I really want to go into it. I mean, there's fires, there's exoduses, but really, if you're doing your job, you shouldn't have too many of those. I haven't had too many of those. I've had one pretty bad Apex Exodus, and maybe just a few little here and there things from other divisions, but nothing, awful. But as a corps commander, the best thing is mentoring staff, and then another good thing about it is being involved at the TWC level, raising concerns from your squad members, your squad staff, your battalion staff, your division staff. They come to you with concerns or even like suggestions. Hey, I think this could be good for TG. You get to elevate that to a TWC level, and then you get to talk it over with your colleagues. I get to talk those things over like a TG public Discord. Mm-hmm. I get to talk that over within the TWC level. I get to talk those issues out in there. And I think the best part about being corps commander is the open transparency that you have with all of your staff. Like, hey, listen, I'm not hiding the ball. This is what I'm doing. And then the worst, obviously, I don't like to discipline, because I don't feel like there should be like a hard line in discipline. We're all volunteer here, right? So, I mean, if you're not doing your job, you're going to get removed. Yeah. So I set my expectations from day one. Everybody gets a PM from me. This is what I expect from you. Exceed my expectations. The minute that you fall below the standard, that's when we start talking about removing people from staff positions. So, yeah, I mean, obviously, every now and again, you've got to grow a backbone and throw the banhammer, but it's rare. It's really rare. I think somebody just lit up a siren back there.
Hey, so we've got LEDs and you've got a siren, so that's yeah. There you go.
Nick is having disco night in the kid cave. But yeah, I mean, the best and worst part about being corps commander, I mean, the best part is obviously staff. I have amazing staff, all the way down to SM. And I mean, the worst part, I guess, is just, putting out fires, but sometimes that can be rewarding too. Sometimes when you put out a fire, it's that you saved a bunch.
Yeah. All right.
Now we're having disco night in here.
I know, but we've been going now for just a little over an hour. It's been a really, really good conversation. We've got a lot of information from yourself, veteran. Is there anything else that you'd like to add on the end of that one, Cosmic, or?
No, I mean, thank you for shedding some light on what you do for TG. There's a lot that goes in behind the scenes that even I have no idea about. So it's super fun to hear about your experience and kind of that background stuff that we don't get to see every day.
Yeah. Especially as well with like sort of the different ways you recruit and the ways that you put out your applications for upcoming div staff and whatnot. The whole sort of the meeting board and whatnot. That's a really cool idea.
Wrong answer. No wrong answers there. I mean, everybody has a different way of hiring staff. That's just my way. No wrong way to recruit. Just not recruiting is the only wrong answer.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, over an hour. Really informative stuff.
Sure.
It's been nice sitting here and listening to the backstory of yourself. I'm pretty sure the people who are going to be watching this as well, or who
I appreciate the opportunity.
Who've fallen asleep. But yeah.
Yeah, it's great that we have a podcast now. I mean, like I said, Madness does so much, and you guys are really putting in the effort here. The TG podcast is something that I talked to Madness about months ago, and I absolutely love that you guys are doing it now. It's awesome to be part of it. I appreciate. Thank you for the opportunity.
No, by all means. I mean, if it push comes to shove, not even push comes to shove, I mean, later down the line, I'm probably going to invite you on again because you just know how to flow in a way. Yeah.
I appreciate it.
All right. Well, on a last ending note, if there's one thing, nothing that you covered so far, if there's one thing that you could tell a new squad member who's looking to progress themselves, not in position wise, but progress themselves as like a person, a player, a teammate, if they wanted to go to like a staff position, if it's there or not, if it's another division, what advice would you solely give to that member?
Seek out your training office. That is the advice. That's what they're there for. They're there to mold you. Seek out your training office. Take advice from your AT. Take advice from your squad leader, your squad assistant, and your XO. My advice to a new squad member is to take it just exactly how I did. Find something that you can take from every leader that is above you ever. And I do this in real life too. There is something. You may get a boss down the road, a sergeant above you, or you may get a boss down the road that you just, to your core, hate them as a person. I promise you there's something redeeming about their leadership style that you can take away from them. Find something that you can take away from every leader that you come across, whether it's TG Halo Hobo, typical veteran, or Postman, the assistant trainer. Find something that they do well, copy it, and build your own leadership style based on what you've seen, and then progress as a human like that. I find something nice about everyone I meet, something that I can take away from them. You should never meet somebody and leave with an empty experience. So find something that you can emulate from everyone that you come across in TG. Build your own leadership style and run with it. Don't take no for an answer. Charge hard into everything and be determined to not only set your own standard, but exceed your own standard. Crush your goals and leave them behind.
Yeah.
Very nice, very informative. If I asked the same sort of question to you, Pepe, what would you give?
Have a good time. I mean, if they're a new squad member, like, enjoy it. It's I mean, I'm sure all of us have had the days when we're like, oh, I wish I was just a squad member.
Best position in TG.
Right?
It really
You
is.
get all of the fun
I know.
with none of the extra.
Responsibilities.
Yeah, exactly.
Great.
But I mean, people in the Discord, like, talk to everyone, hang out with everyone, play with everyone. I can't tell you how many people I've met just through the looking for group on TG's Discords that, like, honestly, I think my life will, like, be forever changed because of our interactions together and just, like, the friends that I've made. So enjoy being here, enjoy playing with other people and finding people who share the same ideals as you.
Yeah.
Yeah, like-minded.
That's
what we're here for.
It's pretty much down to that. Like, so if you gotta reach out to those, and nothing is impossible. Just gotta put the work in and gotta put the effort into to get to where you feel you're comfortable with. If it means reaching out to another squad member that you're in, your squad staff, your battalion staff, your div staff and whatnot. If you're all comfortable talking and like progressing yourself, if you come to them with a concern or with an aid or with, I want to do this and I want to bet myself at being this, nothing game related, or even if it is game related, 9 times out of 10 they're probably going to help you. If not, they're going to point you to someone who can give you the better advice.
Yeah, absolutely. For young squad leaders or squad assistants out there, PLDC, TLDC, super recommend.
That opens your eyes to a lot of things. I, for one, regret the actually, I might do it again. I started doing the TLDC when I was in college, and my college work just got too much, so I had to drop out. I was halfway through assignment 2, and I dropped it out. Damn.
It's out of a real Army handbook.
Mm-hmm.
It's outdated now, but that's
I've still got them on my Google Drive. I've still got them.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you to Cosmic Pepe, my marvelous, flamboyant co-host. I don't know. And the first course CC typical veteran.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate the opportunity here, guys.
No worries, dude. It's been great. Until next time, folks, stay safe, stay whoa, what am I about? Stay safe, stay healthy, stay tactical. Take care.